Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at this recently acquired iMac G4. This was a gift for Christmas and I've wanted one of these for a very long time. So this is yet another Facebook Marketplace find and it came with everything here. The iMac, the Pro speakers, and this kind of cheap keyboard and mouse. There's no brand name on it and it sounds kind of cool though. This is the 800 megahertz model, so it's not the slowest, but it's also pretty far from the fastest. When I first got this, it came with macOS Tiger, and I figured, yeah, that's okay, but I wanted to upgrade to Leopard. So I wanted to try out this version of Leopard called Sorbet Leopard, and it's made by the community. And so I flashed that over FireWire to this hard drive. I erased the whole thing, and it worked, but it was pretty slow, as you would expect. But then I also started getting some graphical glitches, and that just wasn't working out so well. So then I ended up wanting to go back to Tiger, but then I also ran into some more problems. I tried various computers, PCs and Macs, to burn a Tiger install disk, and I kept getting this error. I was successful once installing with 2 CDs instead of the DVD, but that wasn't updated to macOS 10.4.11, so when I went to run the updater, it kept giving me errors and it wouldn't let me update. So I don't understand why that's happening, but I ended up copying the hard drive from my iMac G3, and that seems to be working, although I still haven't figured out the issues onto why I can't just install a fresh version. So if you guys have any ideas why, please let me know, because this is something I cannot figure out, and it's really frustrating. I spent too much time trying to get that working. But it's working right now, running Tiger, so let's go ahead and turn it on and listen to how good those speakers sound. Yeah, that's not too slow. This is probably one of the easiest computers to record just because of how much you can move around the screen. But I think I got it pretty good now, so let's go into about this Mac. And as you can see, we have the 800 megahertz PowerPC G4, 768 megabytes of RAM, and macOS 10.4.11. So I have a couple of different web browsers on here, and the best one seems to be Arctic Fox, just because 10.4 and Interweb PPC, they just seem like they like to crash on here. I don't know why. They're more stable on my iMac G3, but they do load websites faster than it. But let's just go into the system preferences. And this does keep the date and time because the battery is still good in it. Although I should probably take it apart and remove it just in case it starts leaking, which it probably will. And let's take a look at iMovie. And that loads up pretty good. Loads up much faster than it does on the G3 iMac. And if you look close here, you can see there's a dead pixel. There's also one up here too. It's not too bad, but you don't forget about it when there's black. One thing I'd like to add to this is an airport card, which is Wi-Fi, and Apple allowed you to do that through an upgrade, and I have one. So let's go ahead and see if I can install that in here. So let's go ahead and shut this down and see if the one I have works in here. And what I have the airport card in is this iBook G4. This thing is in pretty rough condition. And you're probably wondering, well, why aren't you using it in here? Why don't you get a new keyboard for it and use it in here? Well, let me show you why. And that's why. The GPU just randomly died on this. I was just browsing the internet, and a website was taking a very long time to load, and I started to see some lines go down the screen, and I'm like, oh boy, it's just glitching. But when I restarted it, it looked much worse. And yeah, there's not much I can do about this. Some people say you should reflow the solder joints, but I have a feeling the GPU itself is probably dead. So let's go ahead and take the airport card out of here, which I bought for this, and see if it works in the iMac, because I believe that they use the same airport card. This iBook just serves as a recovery FireWire drive, and that's about all it's good for. So let's go ahead and remove these disgusting keys. And there's the Airport Extreme card. Gotta disconnect the antennas. And there it is, just this little card. This is the beautiful underside of the iMac G4. And you can see here, 800 megahertz, 512 megabytes of RAM, and a 60 gigabyte hard drive. So the previous owner, or the owner before that, I'm not sure, upgraded this with a 256 megabyte RAM module. But I got to remove these 4 Phillips head screws to remove this metal plate, and that's where I should be able to install the airport card. I just have to undo this last screw, and now this should come off. Now I know everyone says this, but I'm going to go ahead and say it too. These screws are captive and they don't fall out of here, so that's kind of nice. I can already tell that this airport card is not going to work. Those are pins in here and it doesn't have a slot like it does on the iBook. So that's really unfortunate. I'll have to go out and find an airport card for this, because I was really hoping to get Wi-Fi on here. Well, this airport card will be very useless to me since I don't have a working iBook. But at least we got to take a look at the inside of the bottom. The RAM is branded iRAM. Gotta love that. And that's a 512 megabyte module, so the internal one must be 256 megabytes. I wonder if you could upgrade that to give it 1 gigabyte. Anyways, let's take a look at what's on the iMac and what it can really do. Here we have Super Mario Bros. For the NES. There's an emulator called Nestopia. And it runs pretty good. It eats up about half of the CPU, and the iMac G3 running the same thing is maxed out at 100%, because it's like twice as fast as it. Let's see if I can do this. There we go. It's a good display for it. The speakers sound good. You can probably hook up a USB controller. Not a bad experience. There's this game called Classic Cube, and it's basically a slimmed down version of Minecraft that works on really low-end hardware. And it runs pretty good on here. As you can see, we already loaded into a world. It's a little choppy in there. There's no mods or characters in this, but it's just pretty much for building. And it gets around 30 FPS, which is pretty good. As soon as you place TNT, it immediately explodes, so that's something to keep in mind. And yeah, someone just compiled this for PowerPC Macs, and it's pretty cool. You can also get this on Android, PC, and I think iOS, if you were to jailbreak and sideload an IPA. You can go really fast if you hold down Shift. It's always kind of fun to do. Let's quit out of that. I have this piece of software called PowerPC App Store, and it lets you go out and download applications, and there's actually a new version available, although we won't download that right now. There's the developer. Seems to be running slow right now. But yeah, it's pretty filled with applications. Of course, some of these need Leopard, so they don't all work on Tiger, but the majority of them do. One thing I really liked about Leopard is the WebKit web browser, because it's so much faster, because it's based on Apple's WebKit versus like a Firefox engine. But all these download, and I think they all work. I haven't tested too many of them. I know VLC works. Now let's see how this thing browses the internet. I have this connected to the internet through a bridge to my main computer. And here's Google. Let's look up iMac G4. Let's go to Wikipedia. And there it is. Scrolling is pretty slow, but it loads the website pretty good. Of course, the processor is absolutely maxed out when anything is happening on the website. Let's go to a couple other websites. Nice lightweight website is Low End Mac, and that looks pretty good on here. XDA forums loads on here, so you can read some forums on this. Usually forum websites are pretty lightweight, so those you could probably look at on here without too many issues. Reddit does not load well on here. As you can see, text is overlapping and it's really slow. But if we were to go to the old Reddit, that works much better on here. Of course, there's a bunch of crap on the main page, but it works pretty good. This is the PowerPC subreddit. Just got this iMac G2 for free. I'm sure you meant G3. Look at that. Looks much better than mine. And here we are, browsing Reddit on an iMac G4. Not great, but not horrible either. So that'll do it for today's video. It's a lot of fun owning one of these now, even though that I'm facing quite a few problems with it. If you have any ideas on how I can get internet on this thing wirelessly, and if you guys have any idea how I can install macOS Tiger from disks and not get errors, please let me know, because I'm still trying to figure that out. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching. Bye.